I came to find out many years ago from reading a lot that the most powerful, most anointed people, I've told you before, you think you know anything. If you know all those small quick stories you bring about what one big man of God did, if you know what people walk in, if you know, if they don't write a book or someone asks them questions and they tell stories once in a while, even when they tell it, they are telling apologetically, they are holding back. You hear some of the stories that happen with Heidi Baker. You hear the stories that happen with Sadhu Savaraj or some unnamed, a lot of unnamed people. Heidi Baker, Iris Ministry, Roland and Heidi Baker. You hear about it, the most fantastic things. Walking on water, walking on air, disappearing and appearing in different cities. This man, they say he preaches in 3 churches every Sunday. Each of them is hundreds of kilometers apart. You don't understand what that means. He preaches in Uyo, and then he preaches in Nasarawa, then he disappears from each to each. His name is not even in the story. If I call it he's a Russian, a roll call Shrushchenko or something. But I'm saying the name is not there. Even if you hear it, it won't mean anything to you. Probably if they bring him on TV to preach, you won't enjoy the sermon. But normally for every Sunday, I think he's the one that after they bought him a small car, the gift disappeared. Terrible thing. He would preach, he would leave his house, dress up, carry this, say, Bam, I think they see you start walking like, you don't disappear from your eyes. He's there. He preaches, he finishes hundreds of kilometers apart. Not that it happened once, it happened every Sunday. Oh yeah, what will you do? You still think you think you know power? When I saw a generation that likes that when people fall down, fall, they don't say fall, but and you're so amazed, start to see power. How else could TB Joshua be doing his finger like that? People, what is wrong with someone falling? If I push you hard, you fall. You see, if I don't push you. I'm not talking about the 419 one that push people to fall, even. Or some are not even 419, they're just overexcited and just keep pushing people hard. I am saying that you're so excited about someone falling or someone doing like this, doing the hand like this, and then someone is turning, doing the hand like this, doing the hand like this, till the person falls, and then you stand there, I see power. So you enjoy puppetry. The power of God can cause people to fall. I know that. Why? Because I know I'm not involved in any juju, and I've seen people fall very many times. Sometimes not even walking near, just being in their space with a crowd, no crowd, alone during church meeting, no church meeting. Monday morning, nothing is happening. Pastor, someone wants to see you. So how are you? Hey. Okay, let me pray for you. Hand, bah, the person rose till they hit that wall, roll back. Everything on earth happens. All I'm saying, God, I wish I had someone here. Oh God, what shall I do? Oh God, oh God, oh God. Just praying, God, can this stop? Oh God. So we have to wait till it's over. Let's stop. So your concept of the power of God and what it can do and what it does, that's okay. So God is working on them, and the demonic forces or something are reacting. Okay, that's what you're seeing as that. Now, if you're going to keep a camera and go around filming all these things, then you cut the clips well and put them up. People will do that and then act a certain way on top of that. You'll be held in high esteem. Market it well. Or do that and act very normally. Make zero attempts to advertise. Do your best to pray for people in private, to limit the show. Anything, not just the power of God knocking people down. You're giving a word of knowledge. Do your best to keep things quiet. Everything, not on a microphone. Just do your best to quiet everything. And you can be 10 times more, in quotes, anointed than the one who does all those things. 20 times, but they won't consider you anointed. They won't. Why? Because you're not marketing yourself as that. When the other day I was saying Pastor Kumuyi praise and miracle. How many of you don't know that Pastor Kumuyi have miracles, healings, lame people walking, blind eyes open happen? How many of you don't know it? You didn't know Pastor Kumuyi. You know, you've heard Pastor Kumuyi, deeper life, but you don't know. Look at all these hands now. They don't know something that has gone on for decades.
You know, nothing really pains me like seeing men of God so obsessed about signs and wonders. By seeing men of God talked about signs and wonders as if it is the only thing people need in church. Nothing pains me like seeing Christians just sitting there and listening to someone talk about things, and they do not ask any questions, or they do not, I don't know if they are thinking for themselves this is right or wrong, but the fact that they did not ask any question and came back to the same church the next day made you understand what their mindset is. Because if they thought that the man of God was saying what that was not even factual or possible, they would have not attended church the next week, because they would have come to this realization that the man of God is playing over their intelligence. But the fact that they all came back and sat there and listened to the man of God talk made you understand that they really are not serious with themselves, and they really do not read their Bibles, and they really do not want to see things for themselves. The thing is like whenever you don't do your own research, whenever you just sat there and depend on what other people tell you, they will mislead you. They will tell you what they want you to know. They would tell you what they think you want to know and what they think further their own agenda. Now, you might think that they are looking out for you, but they might not be necessarily doing that. Because you let yourself being taken advantage of, so they would take advantage of you. Because you let yourself become an easy target, so they will take advantage of you. I don't know how long I need to say this on this particular platform, that you need to do your own research. You need to be your own person. You need to have a mind of your own. You can listen to what men of God say, but you should be selective in practicing what they say. If they said something that doesn't make sense to you, then you just have to discard that one. If they said something that made a lot of sense to you, then by all means, take it to heart and implement it. But the thing is, like, more too often, men of God will say things that benefits them enormously. More too often, men of God will say things that is at their own advantage. Because after all, they are looking out for themselves. Now, I do not think that people should go to church for signs and wonders, because this whole signs and wonders of a thing has led many people astray. I do not think that your whole aim or your primary objective of going to church, of doing good things to people, is to receive a reward. I do not think that should be your main objective. Because if you make your main objective about receiving rewards for the things you do, you will highly be disappointed if those rewards don't come your way. And most of the times, they don't. Most of the times, the things you do them for free. There won't be any reward for doing them. So you have to know this before you go out there doing things. You have to know this before you give your money to your daddy. You have to know this before you do any donations or offerings in the church or out of the church. You really must know this. When you give money to the church, you are supporting the church. And that money you give is gone. You are giving it because it is a good thing to give. Because you are blessed and you want to bless the church. Because you want the church to be able to carry out God's work. And so you are making sure the church can do that. If you are going to church, go to church because you want salvation, because you want to thank the Lord for all the amazing things He has done in your life. You have 2 legs. You are healthy. You can breathe. You are alive. All these are blessings from the Lord. How much blessings do you want from the Lord? What do you want the Lord to do? The Lord has done so much for you already. Aren't you grateful for that? And so you go to the church because you want to praise the Lord. You want to bless the Lord. You want to thank the Lord for everything He has done for you. You don't go to church because you want to sow seed in order to receive times 2, times 3, times 4. No. You don't go to church because that failing business that you have, you want the Lord to turn it around. No. You don't go to church because you do not have the necessary skills that are required to perform a certain duty. And you believe that if you fast and pray, the Lord will pour that skill into you. This is all nonsense. This is just crazy talk. It will never happen. If you don't have a skill, if you are not knowledgeable enough, seek knowledge. And you don't do that in church. You don't do that by fasting. You don't do that by praying. You do that by going to school and learn. If you want to become a man of God or a Bible school teacher, by all means, study the Bible. But if you want to become a business person, if you want to understand how the economic works, go to an economic school and learn that. If you want to know how to manage that your failing business, if you want to know what to do to turn that failing business around, then go to a business school and learn how to manage a business. Or better still, meet someone who has been successful in managing that same business that you are in and learn from that person. They will teach you how to manage your business successfully. The church cannot do that for you. God cannot do that for you. God can only impact in you the ability and wisdom to understand anything as quickly as possible. God can do that. But the rest is left for you to do. God will not do that. God will not do for men what men ought to do for themselves. Do I need to repeat this to you every now and then? God will not do for men what men ought to do for themselves. It will not happen. It has never happened. It will not happen. You have to do it for yourself. You have the ability to work and succeed all by yourself. God will not do that for you. So if you're going to church looking for signs and wonders, you will be disappointed. If you're going to church thinking that God will turn your failing business around, you will be disappointed. If you're going to church thinking that the job that you cannot perform, this function that you cannot perform as a result of lack of knowledge and skills, God will instill that in you, you are mistaken. You will be disappointed. You will be bitter. You will be very, very angry. Because after staying in that church for 2, 3, 4 months, nothing will change. Because the problem or the solution is not from the church. The solution is within you. You have to do it all by yourself. So before I go, let me just point this out to you very, very clearly. Worship God, praise the Lord, bless the Lord. But remember, there are many things you are supposed to do all by yourself, and you have to do it. You must do it. If you don't, your life will stay the same. Your life will never, ever change. You must do what you have to do for yourself. You must do it. To you guys out there, let's hear your take in the comment section below. What do you think about the inspiring message from the man of God? Do you think he's right or he's wrong? Let's hear that in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. Please do us a favor, like this video, share it, subscribe to this channel because that helps us a lot. and we shall ever be grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.